Hello, welcome to this fifth exercise on AutoCAD orthographic drawing. In this particular drawing, we'll be taking a look at this particular exercise. In order to accomplish this exercise, we'll be needing some drawing tools and modifying tools. Okay, let me list the tools that will be needed to perform this exercise. We'll be needing to know how to use construction line, circle, line, offset, copy, trim, fillet, array, layers, dimension, and finally gradient. By making use of this tool effectively, we'll be able to accomplish this exercise. Let's get started. Okay, to get started, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the unit for the drawing. And to do that, I will type UN on my command line, UN, enter. Then a dialog box appear from which I can change from inches to millimeter. I want to do my drawings in millimeter, so I've changed from inches to millimeter. Okay, all right. Now I'm ready to proceed with the drawing. In order to draw this drawing, in order to make this drawing effective, uh, it's good to start with our center lines. Now I can see a vertical center line and an horizontal center line, which is the main center line. Then after which I will move to other center lines in the drawing. In order to accomplish the center lines, I'll be making use of a tool called the construction line in AutoCAD. So I go to my drawing tools in AutoCAD and I pick construction line. On the command line, there are options for construction line, horizontal, then I'll do another vertical, escape on my keyboard. Now with this, I'll proceed to other center lines. Now here we have two other center lines that are 90 millimeter apart. So from the main center line, that means 45 to the right, 45 to the left. I'm going to accomplish that using offset. Offset is a modifying tool. So I click on my offset, specify offset distance, 45, enter. Then select object to offset or pick. Then I'll offset to the right. I'll pick the line again. I will offset to the left. Now you will observe that when I made the offset, the two lines are not visible. So at this stage, I'm going to be using zoom to make it visible. So now making use of my mouse. So I've been able to use the zoom on my mouse to now to make the lines visible. So initially, because of the zoom, it was not visible. So by making use of my zoom appropriately, I'm able to bring it to focus to make it visible. All right. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to do the horizontal center lines. So from the main horizontal center line, which is this line here, I need to come horizontal. I need to come horizontal to the other center line. Now I'm given some details. I'm told that from this main horizontal center line to the one at the top is 57. So I'm going to accomplish that using offset. Offset distance of 57. Select object to offset. I offset it upwards. Okay, so once again, I can't see it, so I'm going to make use of my zoom with my mouse in order to make it the line visible. All right, let's proceed. So the next step is to do the other center line downwards. So that should be 104 minus 57. So what would that give us? 104 minus 57. So that's 47. So now the distance downwards is 47. So offset distance of 47, select the objects, then downwards to give me 47. All right, so I've done my center lines by making use of my construction line to now to be able to draw my center lines, which act as the main structure of the drawing. It's always advisable to approach your drawing this way, drawing the center line first. So that makes the drawing so easy. Now, To proceed, I'm going to make use of circle. So here I have a circle of diameter 22, radius 11. So circles, center line. I'll make sure that my join aid is on. Then I'll check for, okay, center line. I'm going to activate center line, and I want to activate endpoints too. All right, so my join aid object snap is on. So I pick circle, then I locate the center of the circle or the intersection, the center of the circle. So we are told that the radius is radius 11. 11, enter. Okay, so now we have another bigger circle. We have another bigger circle. This center line circle. This center line circle. Where's the dimension? Okay, yes, the dimension is diameter 58. Diameter 58. This center line circle, dimension 58. So that means the radius is 29. Radius 29. So circle, diameter 58, radius 29. I'm able to draw that. Okay, so the next circle is this other bigger circle, diameter 78. Diameter 78, radius 39. Diameter 78, radius 39. Okay, so circle again, center 39. Okay, I'm able to draw 3 circles. So at this point, okay, maybe I should draw the last circle. There is this final circle of radius 43. Radius 43. So let me get that done. Radius 43, another circle, radius 43. Okay, all right, good. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and work on, I can see we have some drawings in array. I have 6 objects in array. So I'm going to work on that. So in order to do that, I'm told that 6 objects, diameter 14. So diameter 14, radius 7. Okay. So circle, radius 7. Okay, what other information do I have? Okay, I'm told that this line is 6 millimeter apart. Then also I'm given another information that the base is diameter 32, radius 16. Diameter 32 for the base. The base has an arc, not a line, an arc at the base. So radius 16 for the base. So I'll go circle again, radius 16. At this point, I'm going to turn off my drawing aid so I don't make mistake. All right. Okay. All right. So the next thing I'm going to draw is I'm going to draw this line. I'm going to work on this area. I'm told it's 6 millimeter apart. So in order to be able to do that, I'm going to use offset. Offset distance. My offset distance is 3. Enter. So select line offset 3 this way, 3 to the right, 3 to the left. Then after which I'm going to make use of trim. So I click on trim, right click, enter. Then I'm going to trim off unnecessary lines, unwanted lines. I'm going to trim off unwanted lines. Unwanted lines. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm going to trim off unwanted lines. Okay, so now I can erase or delete. So by trimming it properly, I'm able to achieve one of the objects. Okay, I'm able to achieve one of the objects by trimming properly. Okay, I'm able to achieve one of the objects by trimming properly. Okay, I think I've deleted my vertical center line. I'm going to put that back. Okay, I need my drawing aid. Now to put that back. Okay, so I've drawn one of the 6 objects. So I'm going to use array to draw the remaining 6 objects. So I'm going to make it an array to draw the remaining 6. So I'll go to array, polar array. So polar array, select objects. So this is the object I want to select, this particular object. So I've used my blue selection to pick this particular object. So once I'm done with selecting, I'll press enter, then pick my center point. So by default, 6 items. Okay, I'm going with that 6 items. In case you want to change it, just change this figure over here. 6 items. So I have 6 and I'm going to accept. Okay, so doing this, I'm able to have 6 of that object. Okay, I think we are making progress. So the next step is I'll come to this hand. I have 2 circles here, one of diameter 18, the other of diameter 36. Diameter 18 and diameter 36. So I'll go to my AutoCAD circle. This time I want to use, okay, so diameter 18, that will be radius 9, radius 9 and radius 18. Radius 9, radius 18. So circle, I already have the center point. Radius 9 and radius 18. Okay, so I'm going to make a copy. I'm going to make a copy of this object to the other side. So I'll be making use of copy. Select objects. Then from the center point, I copy. So you can see the advantage of starting with the center lines. With the center lines, so it's like a structure. So I already know where my center points are. So that makes my drawing so easy. Okay, so next is I'm going to draw this up here. Up here. So I have 2 circles of diameter 22 and diameter 6. So that means radius 6 and radius 11. Radius 6 circle at this point. Radius 6. Another circle. Radius 11. All right. So I'm almost done with the drawing. So the final thing I'm going to do is to connect the objects with an arc. Connect the objects with an arc. So I have here radius 40, here radius 20. So let me achieve this radius 40. So to do that, I'm going to be making use of fillets. Fillets, specify my radius settings, radius 40, enter. Then I'll select the 2 objects concerned. Okay, so that's radius 40. Then I'll do the same for this radius 20, radius 20. So to do that, fillet again. This time radius 20, enter. Now, because I'm going to be applying twice, I'm going to be choosing multiple. Then I'll select the 2 objects concerned. Okay. All right. Okay, I think it goes this way too. Okay. All right. So with this, I have the drawing completed. With this, I have the drawing completed. Okay. Yes, the drawing is completed, but not yet totally done. So I'm going to do some final step to make the drawing more visually appealing. All right. So the next step I'm going to be doing now is I will be applying my layers to the drawing. I'll be applying my layers. So I'll go to layers. I'm going to create 2 layers. So the first layer, I'll I'll call it thick line. Thick line. Then color. Get the color. I'll leave it as black, which is the default. The line type, continuous line. I'm going to leave it as the default. Line width. I'm going to increase the line width a little bit. 0.3. Okay. Create another layer. Let me call this layer center line. Center line. I'm going to change the color to red. Line type, so load. Then I'm going to look for some center lines here. Center line, okay. Select it again, okay. All right. So now line width. line width, I don't want this to be thick, so I'm just going to use a thin line width. Okay, so with this I'm done with my settings. So now I want to apply my setting. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything, all of my objects. I'll select all of my objects, then I will come to my layers section here, and group all of them as thick lines. I'll group all of them as thick lines. Escape on my keyboard. Now you will notice that even though I have grouped them as thick lines, the thickness is not showing. So to do that, you come to your drawing aid below and activate show or hide line width. So once you activate the show or hide line width, then you should have, okay. So once you activate your show or hide line width, then the thickness will show. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is my center lines are extending far beyond the object. So I'm going to trim this off. I'm going to trim this off. To do this, I'm going to be using rectangle to create a boundary. I'm using rectangle to create a boundary, after which I'm going to use trim to trim off some portions of the line. Then I can now delete the rectangle I used for the boundary. All right, so you can see the object now. So the next thing I'm going to do, my next step is to now group my center lines. Center lines, so let me select the lines first. Center lines, center lines. Okay. Then I group under center line. All right, done. Now, this line at the middle is also a center line. This is also a center line. So I'll select it and also put it under center line. Okay. Now you will observe that my center lines are not showing broken lines. They are not broken in my drawing. So in order to make it broken, in my setting, I made it broken because I put it at center line, but it's not showing here. So what I'm going to do is I'll select one copy of this center line, right click, properties. Then I'll change my properties, line type scale. I'll change it to, what can I change it? Let me change it to 12. Enter. Okay. So when I did that, escape on my keyboard. When I did that, now it's now appearing. So I'm going to apply the same properties to other center line. To do that, I'll type ME on my keyboard, select, then apply. Okay. So now all my center lines are showing as center lines. All right. So the next step I'm going to use to finalize this drawing is to add dimension. To add dimension, I'll go and do my dimension setting. Dimension. So if you don't know how to use some of these tools, you can refer to our previous video on our drawing tools and modifying tools. So to learn how to use, to learn and understand how to use the various tools. So new, let me call it new dimension, continue. So I'll do some settings here to customize my dimension. Okay, I want my dimension line to be size 4. Dimension line text. I want my text height to be 5. Okay, line. I want my line color to be blue. To be blue. Okay, I come back to here. Okay, okay. Text align with dimension line. Then how many decimal places? Whole number. So we have dealt with some of these tools, how to create dimension in AutoCAD. We have done a previous video on this, so you can refer to that. Set current, close. All right, so now I've done my dimension setting. I can now apply my dimension. So here, diameter 12 and diameter 22. So I come annotate diameter 12. Okay, again. All right, correct. So I have this correct. Then radius, yeah, radius So this is radius 22. Radius 20, Then on this circle is diameter 78. 78 from here to yeah, from here to here is diameter 78. Okay, correct. Okay, I notice I need to make a trim. I need to make a trim at this point, a trim which I have not yet done. So I'm going to go and use trim, enter. I need to trim off this point, then trim off this point and this point. Okay, all right. So diameter 78 here. Then diameter 58 for the center line. For the center line, diameter 58. Okay, diameter 58. Okay, we are correct. So I notice my center line is not yet broken. So MA for match property. Then I'll select the source and destination. All right, good. So it's now showing as a broken line. So let me go ahead and complete my dimension. 57. Correct. Total is 104. 104 from here. Okay, 104. So we have it correct. So before you start applying your dimension, always make sure that your drawing aid object snap is on. That will enable you to pick your object correctly. Okay, so from here to here is 90. 90 center line to center line. That's 90. Center line to center line. 90. Okay. So what else do I need to dimension? Radius of 40. Radius of 40, yeah. Radius 40. So what else is missing? Diameter 18 and diameter 36. So let me use diameter 18, diameter 18 and diameter 36. Okay, so this is 6 of diameter 14, 6 copies, diameter 14. So I'll just use diameter, diameter 14, but 6 copies of it. So I'll double click on the text. I'll double click on the text to edit it. I'll go to the beginning and just do something like this: 6 copies of diameter 14. All right. So what else do I need to do? Okay, we have a bigger circle of radius 43. So let me state that out. Radius 43. Okay, so I have all my dimensions correct. I have all my dimensions correct as stated in the drawing. I have it perfectly correct. Diameter 12 and diameter 32. Okay. Diameter 12. Diameter 22 and diameter 32. So let me use diameter 22, and for this diameter 32. Okay, all right. So now I've done all my dimensions. So at this stage, the next step for me to do is to apply my gradient to this drawing. So to do that, I will come to gradient, my drawing tool, gradient. Before I apply my gradient, I'll do a little bit of setting. So I'll come to setting. I will make sure that it's on annotative. Sometimes it can be on create separate arch, which is not what I want. I don't want separate arch. I'll put it on annotative. I'll remove this. then send to the back. Okay, I want to be sure the gradient is at the back. Okay, so I'll do the settings, then I'll pick my color of choice. Okay, my two color of choice. So with that, I can now apply my gradients. Okay, all right. Let me pick different set of colors to make it a little bit colorful. Okay. This is just applying gradients to the drawing. So you can pick two colors or you can pick a single color for your gradients. Okay, all right. So I have something beautiful at the end of the day. I hope you have learned a little. I hope you have learned a few things on using your AutoCAD tools to achieve your drawings. If you really enjoyed this video, subscribe. Remember to subscribe, refer your friends, and let's continue on this journey. Thank you so much.